sometimes I want to go the holy way of the noodle, steamed veg and seared fish. At other times, only chocolate will do. And in this mood, I have to have my chocolate pavlova. So that's 6 egg whites, which need to be whisked till they're gleaming and satiny. Now this is the stage, and I want to start adding the sugar. Can you see these beautiful, white, smooth, satiny peaks? This is why a pavlova is called a pavlova. It was created in honour of Anna Pavlova, the ballerina, after a no doubt fabulous performance in Swan Lake. This is her bending over with all her tulle. But first, the sugar, because meringue really is just sugar and egg whites. 300 grams of sugar for the 6 egg whites. Just add a spoonful at a time, serenely, slowly, unworriedly. The last bit in 1. I am not much of a scientist. In fact, my school report said that I managed rather well, considering I had absolutely no flair for the subject. But I do know that if you add vinegar to a meringue base when you're making a pav, it ensures that the inside stays gooey and marshmallowy while the outside crisps up. And this is what we want. And this is where Anna Pavlova's gleaming white swan gets turned into the mucky duck version of the pav. Cocoa, beautiful brown dust, 3 spoonfuls. Sieve it, because otherwise you will get horrible grainy lumps. Wonderful Aztec hillside I'm making here. I made the chocolate pav simply because I am so addicted both to making and eating pavlova. I just thought one day I wanted to do something a bit different. And as Mae West said, too much of a good thing can be wonderful. So I added some chocolate, and it's this bit that makes a difference. So get the best dark chocolate you can, half a bar, about 50 grams, and chop it into wonderful dark splinters. And the point about this is that these little chocolate bits will stay molten like nuggets of melting chocolate in the meringue. Add these to the cocoa dusted meringue and serenely and confidently fold in the cocoa, vinegar and chocolate. Just keep turning the spoon round and down until everything is gently combined. And now I'm ready to mound the meringue onto the tin. I find if you dollop teeny bits of meringue onto the tin, it keeps the paper from moving about when you're actually building up the pav base. And then mound pleasurably, slowly, as smooth as you go. The trick with the pavlova, along with the vinegar, is that when you put it in the oven, you put it in at a much hotter temperature than you normally would with a meringue, 180, which is gas mark 4. And the minute it goes in, you turn it down to gas mark 2, 150. And this means that the outside sears to a sudden crisp, but the inside cooks slowly and gently, so you have that brown, melting, gooey marshmallow interior. Smooth this down. This will need about 1 hour and a quarter to cook, and then once it's cool I can slather it with cream and cover it with raspberries. I have a line I always say, and when I say it I believe it, which is that unlike most women I don't have a particular thing about chocolate. But I ask you, is this a cupboard of someone who doesn't have a thing about chocolate? I have an excuse for the dark and white chocolate buttons because I do use them all the time in cooking. Otherwise, I don't know what my excuse is. I do tend to buy things whenever I go on holiday. This is like a really big one, a kilo, like a gold ingot of dark chocolate. Somehow I feel better having this in the house. It's a rather strange thing is that when I write chocolate recipes, I always find myself saying, you know, best quality chocolate, but you know, when you're just eating straight in the raw, you know, minimum 70% cocoa solids is not what you want. I want something like nutrageous. Milk chocolate, peanuts, caramel, Reese's peanut butter. It's good for children too. I mean, this is my bribery and corruption drawer. But there's something rather more important. You know those days when you can't be bothered to cook a pudding, or frankly can't be bothered to cook anything? My dinner of choice, frozen mini chocolates. The meringue base has been out of the oven and should be cool and is beautiful. Don't be alarmed when you see these cratery splinters. It's meant to be like that. Not least because you can now see all these lovely gooey bits of dark chewy chocolate underneath the crust. And anyway, this is not conveyor belt cookery, it's home food. It's meant to look like this. On top of the dusty cocoa layer, a fat, gleaming wodge of double cream. I wouldn't worry about doing this too neatly, just sort of splosh it on. Then all it needs on top is a sort of tumbling layer of raspberries, all crimson nackless. Fabulous. And here they come. A bit of dark chocolate, just roughly shaved over. I have a weakness for all pads, but especially this darkly glowing beauty. This is very easy to make and very easy to eat. There is one difficult piece in between, and that's actually cutting it. But greed finds a way.